Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Monday, July 10th meeting of the Tuckahoe Village Board of Trustees. Will everyone please rise and join me in the pledge of the flag? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will the village clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Luisi.
Present.
Trustee Leo.
Present.
Trustee Alfasi.
Present.
Mayor Eklund.
I am here tonight. I have no appointments to make tonight, but we have a special presentation tonight, and we're going to hear from Westchester Power Sustainable Westchester. Jasmine Graham is here. She's also here with, I'm sorry, Victoria Steinberg, I know is here. Virginia Steinberg, and I should know better, too. Jenna. Are you both going to speak, or you can both speak? You're going to give us a little update, I know, on Sustainable Westchester. We are a member of this group, proud member of it, so I think you have a handout, too.
So Jen is going to be handing out the information that I will be referencing throughout.
Thank you.
Just a brief update. First of all,
Thank you.
again, as you pointed out, for being a member of Sustainable Westchester. And this is really an opportunity for us, and we appreciate your allowing us the opportunity to just give you an update.
Just pull the mic in a little bit.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure it's on. Is that working? Is that
Yeah.
better? Okay.
Good.
To give you an update on our program, which we've learned a lot in a year, and we've come a long way. And most of you are familiar with the CCA in terms of it being a community choice aggregation, concept being we're buying in bulk. So it gives us the opportunity to negotiate better rates, better terms overall for the communities and participating municipalities throughout Westchester County. And we're the first pilot, we are a pilot program, the first in New York State, the 7th state in the country to have such a program as this. And again, it's really designed to be a benefit. The residents who are in the participating municipalities have benefited from favorable rates, stable rates for the last year. So far, there are 20 of the municipalities that are part of our program, and we have been greatly honored to have the County of Westchester join as a member of Sustainable Westchester. And again, it allows us additional opportunities to leverage buying, negotiating power in Albany. So it's all good. So far to date, you'll see in one of the infographics some very compelling numbers in terms of the success of our program. You'll see the infograph on the Welcome to Westchester Power page, and it refers to the savings, which I know is probably one of the key features that everybody's interested in. And it states a figure of $1.5 million, which is actually a little low. At this point, we've saved closer to $2 million for the residents and the small businesses who are participating in the program. And of course, for our mission as Sustainable Westchester, another key factor is that we have saved significantly in terms of the amount of carbon dioxide emissions into the environment. So basically for us, this is an opportunity via Sustainable Westchester and Westchester Power to provide a very robust platform for energy generation and supply that really helps the communities on a highly localized level. Our vision is ultimately to do things like microgrids. We're already exploring that opportunity. Community solar, which you're probably the first for us to discuss in public. We're doing a soft launch of this. In a nutshell, it means that you have trees over your house. You can't put solar panels, but you want to be part of the movement towards sustainable energy. So you partner with, or you get supply from, a warehouse down the street, an apartment building that agrees to have solar panels on their roofs, and you get to tap into that supply. That's
You meaning the individual homeowner, or?
Yes.
Okay.
So if your home has shade over it,
Mm-hmm.
but you want to be part of this, if there's a solar panel in a municipal building that's generating the supply, you can tap into that. Apartment home dwellers who obviously can't put solar panels in their home are able to also tap into that supply. So these are new ways in which we're looking at the future to become local and to generate power that's much more sustainable and renewable. And again, it's all about the resiliency and renewable factor. There are two programs that we know of so far that are up and running or certainly in development. One is Hawthorne, that's been around for about 4 months, that has a community solar initiative. And I know Mount Vernon is looking to develop something of this nature too. We are finding significant interest in densely populated areas that don't have the opportunity again to have the, large home with no trees over it. Part of what we are doing and the reason why we're here in part is we're mandated to conduct outreach. Our job as in our office is to inform and to update communities so they understand that this is sincerely a benefit to the residents, the individual homeowners as well as small businesses. So Jenna and I are both community outreach coordinators, and that's part of our job. We're an office of 5 people, and we answer customer calls all day long. We enjoy it because it allows us the chance to inform, to update, and to clarify some of the confusing messages that you get sometimes in your utility bill when, regardless, even if it's Con Ed, people don't understand. Most people don't understand the utility bill, that there are 2 parts, that delivery side, that infrastructure side, and the supply. And of course, a little over a year ago, we were given the opportunity to develop this program, and so we are constantly getting calls and gladly clarifying for consumers what it all means to them and the benefits they reap from that. We've hired a communications firm, Co-Communications, and we are working with them. They've done a great job. I've worked with substantially, generating public relations and press coverage. You'll see one of the articles which we're proud of, not just because it features us in the Westchester County Business Journal. This reporter came and spent a lot of time with us to really delve into the program nuances, to understand the details. And in layman terms, what I think is so powerful is that it really explains to the average person what our program is designed to do and the vision in terms of what we hope to do for the future. Moving on to rates, which I'm sure is very important to you and your residents. There are 2 graphs. If you're like me and looking at graphs can be kind of a little bit of a yawner in some ways, the important part of this, the feature, is that the blue bars reflect Con Ed. Our program has fixed rates. The blue bars are the Con Ed rates. So you can see they fluctuate significantly. So for a small business owner, or for a homeowner that's trying to gauge where are my rates going to be and get an idea of where my bill's going to be, our program levels this out a little bit. We can't help you in terms of how much you use, but we can certainly help you by saying, month to month, your rate is going to be this. So you can plan and perhaps, hopefully, budget accordingly. And of course, by so doing, you avoid the spikes in the summer, where we are now, where rates can go up because it's a supply and demand market economy. Con Ed can charge more. They can do that the same in certain winter months for electric heating customers as well.
But yeah, you can see in December and July, they really spike it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this program is designed to level that, to let everybody know this is what you're going to be paying. You know you're going to be using more, but now you can plan accordingly. And that's very important, we found, for a number of customers, regardless, again, of if they're individual homeowners or small businesses. The marketing communications plan that we have, that we've been promoting, is called Empowering Green Energy. And we use that word not lightly. Part of it is that, again, we are informing the consumers so they can make smart decisions about what they do. And it's local. Our office is located in Mount-Kisco. We have 5 or 6 people there. When you call, if you have to leave a message, which you really don't if we're there during business hours, we call you back. It's not some telemarketer, it's not somebody, a computer or something elsewhere. And we really and truly enjoy doing this. Another benefit of this program, or where we found we made great strides in, is thought leadership. program's success has not been gone unnoticed. And we've conducted workshops to reform. We've done a microgrid workshop that was attended by many municipal leaders and sustainability, environmental committee members as well. And we have currently, we've already did one, we've got a series of forums on carbon tax. It's an issue that's very talked about in a lot of circles right now. We're neither for nor against it. Our job is to sponsor the opportunity to have a dialogue so that communities can make informed decisions and lobby where is necessary accordingly. So overall, oh, and one other one that's kind of interesting, that focuses a little bit more on the health aspects, is we were recently approached by the American Lung Association. This is all in your information as well. They were interested in talking to us about the effect of clean energy on asthma rates and how something like that could be significantly reduced, how we need to think about that. So again, it's a little bit more of a thought leadership perspective, and one program we have that addresses some of that is our electric vehicles program, which is now being launched both on a municipal level, and we have been fortunate to be able to offer to many individuals as well who live in sustainable Westchester communities. So all in all, that has been something that's been, we felt is very important in terms of fulfilling our mission. From a municipal leader perspective, you'll probably enjoy this feature. We have worked, we've recently adopted a data management system. We're starting, we're putting it all together. But what we hope to be able to do is enable each municipality and each municipal leader to be able to go in and have a dedicated dashboard. So much like the infograph that says 1.5 million, you'll be able to go in and see where your residents, how much they've been able to save, what their contribution is to a green economy, and other figures which we're still working out the details. And taking that a step further, we hope to drill down to each account holder so that they can, on their own, find out the same kind of, what's their energy usage, how do they compare to other people in terms of what they're using, what they're saving in terms of environmental impact and so forth. So all in all, this has been a program that we're proud of, and we hope that we can continue to collaborate with communities and so forth. If you happen to know developers, we have had dialogues. Oh, I'm sorry. We hope to reach out to communities and find developers and so forth that may be local. We have dialogues ongoing, because again, our focus is really to build a robust, resilient, local energy community. Especially nowadays, this has become much more of a focus. So we're not hit by something like a Sandy the way we all were. It'd be nice to have certain precautions and so forth in place so that we really can address this on a hyper-local basis. I think that's pretty much it, other than to say we are your advocates, and that's very important to us. We want to make sure that you come to us if you have questions after this presentation. If you say, hey, I'm not clear about something else. Part of the benefit of having 20 municipalities being part of Westchester Power, and of course the power of the participating municipalities in Sustainable Westchester, it gives us greater voice in many arenas, not least of which is up in Albany, the PSC, to ask for clarification so that people start realizing that their utility bill is not something you just ignore and toss aside, but it's something to actually give some thought to.
Would you be able to email us this PowerPoint presentation, and can we put it in our website?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. All right, we'll definitely do that.
So thank you.
Great, thank you.
If you have any questions, you know how to reach us.
All right, thank you very much for coming down.
Thank you.
All right, our next order of business tonight is the adoption of the minutes. So the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of June 5, 2017. Do I have a motion for the approval of that?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor?
Trustee Leo.
In favor?
Trustee Alfasi.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. And that's going to bring us to our first opportunity to address the board on anything on our agenda tonight. Okay. We're going to move on to resolutions. Resolution number 1 is authorizing the appointment of Lawrence Rhoda to Police Lieutenant effective August 7, 2017, with a 26-week probationary period commencing on the effective date. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
And we're going to have a swearing-in ceremony at a later meeting for Larry.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor.
Trustee Leo.
In favor.
Trustee Alfasi.
Well, I'd like to just take an opportunity, just, emphatically say in favor. I know Larry and his family for quite a while. They were neighbors of mine, and I can't think of a better person to be promoting, so emphatically in favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. Resolution number 2 is authorizing the 5th annual Parkview Heights Block Party on Bella Vista Street on Saturday, September 9th. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor.
Trustee Leo.
In favor.
Trustee Alfasi.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. Resolution number 3, authorizing an agreement with the Community Fund of Bronxville, Eastchester, Tuckahoe, Inc., as it relates to the Tuckahoe Trolley Grant. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor.
Trustee Leo.
In favor.
Trustee Alfasi.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. Resolution number 4, authorizing an agreement with the Community Fund of Bronxville, Eastchester, Tuckahoe, Inc., as it relates to funds for resurfacing the basketball court at the Main Street Park. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Yeah, we're going to thank Melinda. Frank's going to do that, I think, when he comes up to talk. This is very nice of them.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor.
Trustee Leo.
In favor.
Trustee Alfasi.
Great thing for our community. Much in favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. Resolution 5 is authorizing an agreement with Westchester County for a grant in the amount of $5,000 to purchase laptop computers for our library. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor.
Trustee Leo.
In favor.
Trustee Alfasi.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. Resolution number 6 is authorizing a donation in the amount of $3,000 to the Westchester Italian Cultural Center for the 9th edition of the Italian Film Festival, Cinema Sotto la Stella. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
I'm sure I butchered that.
Trustee Luisi.
We should have you do
In
it.
favor.
Trustee Leo.
In favor.
Trustee Alfasi.
In favor.
Mayor
In
Eklund.
favor. I should have my son, he took Italian. All right, resolution number 7 is authorizing the acceptance of a $500 donation from the Tuckahoe Eastchester Lions Club, number 8439, on behalf of the Village of Tuckahoe's History Committee. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor.
Trustee Leo.
In favor.
Trustee Alfasi.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. Resolution number 8 is setting a public hearing for September 18, 2017, to consider a proposed local law establishing a hotel occupancy tax. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor.
Trustee Leo.
In favor.
Trustee Alfasi.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. Resolution number 9, setting a public hearing for September 18, 2017, to consider a proposed local law amending the zoning code regarding the finished side of fences. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Trustee Luisi.
Favor.
Trustee Leo.
In favor.
Trustee Alfasi.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. Resolution number 10 is authorizing the approval of vouchers in the amount of $713,374.03. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor.
Trustee Leo.
In favor.
Trustee Alfasi.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. And we have one last-minute resolution, which will be resolution number 11, authorizing the annual Oak Avenue Block Party on Oak Avenue to be held on Saturday, August 19th. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Trustee Luisi.
In favor.
Trustee Leo.
In favor.
Trustee Alfasi.
In favor.
Mayor Eklund.
In favor. And that's going to bring us to our departmental reports to the board, and we will start with Chief Costanza.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the board. I just want to thank you for the appointment tonight. We'll talk further about Larry Rhoda and his accomplishments, but it's filling a position that was left vacant in February with the retirement of Lieutenant Ray Stabile. So we're finally getting to fill that position, and we look forward to Larry, his new role, and I know he's very excited about it. And we also look forward to his swearing in September. So thank you for that. I don't want to, I know the members of the board, and I'm sure Mayor, you'll be speaking about the fireworks event. So I just want to touch on the public safety aspect of that. You know, we can't do it without our partners, the Eastchester Police Auxiliaries, the Westchester County Department of Public Safety Emergency Force. We also had a tactical element there from Pelham and Eastchester, as well as members of Tuckahoe, and certainly our own police department. That incident commander that night was Lieutenant Andrew Zerolnik. He did a great job, as well as all the members of the Tuckahoe Police Department, keeping everyone safe, and it was a very enjoyable evening. Hats off to John Galuzzi and everyone involved in organizing it. It was a wonderful night. So it was important for me to thank all of our partners for their participation. And that's all I have this evening.
Thank you. Yeah, there was a lot of support there. When I saw the Pelham radio cars, I was impressed by that. So very nice. Thank you. Frank DeMarco. I don't see Johnny Galuzzi here. He's probably home sleeping still. I think he was up for 48 hours.
He's tired from all the work he's
Oh,
done.
boy.
Oh, yeah.
He did a great job. I also want to commend John for doing a great job on the fireworks show. It was a great turnout, and also for the police department and Department of Public Works for chipping in. I first and foremost want to thank Melinda Burge and of the Community Fund and the Community Fund Committee for really approving and allocating funding so we could resurface our basketball court at the Fisher Avenue Park. I'm sorry, the Main Street Park. I'm all over the place. DPW is all over the place, so my mind is all over the place. But with all the work that we've completed at the Main Street Park, the last remaining phase that was needed to be completed was the resurfacing of the basketball court. But thank you to Melinda and the Community Fund Committee. I want to touch on paving. Obviously, we're out there paving this year. We're paving a couple of more roads than we have been in the past. Much needed process. But I get calls all the time how roads are chosen to be paved annually. Well, 3 times a year I go out and rate every road based on its condition. It's rating from 1 to 5, 1 being good, 5 being the worst. And you know, even though it's rated for a 1 or 2 or 3 midsummer, at the end of the winter it could be rated a 4 or 5. That's how often these conditions worsen. But we are paving presently, or have paved as of today, is Grant, Fairview, Midland Place, Union, Winter Hill, Oakland Avenue between Fisher and Lincoln, Park Avenue, and up-and-coming Depot Square. I say that because we were originally supposed to pave Midland Avenue, but 3 months back, there's been a road that had undermined it in Bronxville, and that undermining caused the Con Edison's gas line to weaken because the lines are old and they're outdated. So in reaching out for the engineering department in Con Edison, they decided to replace all the gas mains beginning in Bronxville, leading through Tuckahoe into Eastchester. So that process will begin early 2018. So with that said, we didn't want to pave a road that was going to be excavated, and then Con Edison is going to come back and repave this road for us anyway. So
And they'll pave it curb to curb, just
Curb
like
to
we
curb.
would have, yeah.
exactly,
That's a bonus.
no cost to the taxpayers. So that's what we did with Midland Avenue. Midland Avenue is a 5 for us. It's one of our worst roads. But also, I just want to mention that a lot of people don't understand that, a lot of residents don't understand that there's a big section of road that's owned by the county. That section of road is Main Street. And that's probably a 7 on my scale of 1 to 5. We have over the years been maintaining it, and we've given up this year because it's gotten so bad that we're worried about liability issues. We handed it back over to the county. So if there's any complaints, any calls, I recommend that the calls go to the county in reference to potholes or any unwarranted condition that might be a hazard. And we also do the same as the DPW department. But that stretch of road runs from Marbledale Road to the Masonic Temple, which is almost out front here in the Village Hall. So it's that stretch that is county road. Beyond that to the bridge is our road, which leads to Depot Square. We are going to be paving that road within the next month or so. We have sidewalk work that's presently being done. We have decorative lamps that are being installed by DPW. And once all this work is done, we're going to pave the entire intersection of Columbus, Depot Square, Main Street, the parking areas that lead up to Grant Street. So all of that's going to be repaved this year.
I know we spoke to the county too about that stretch of Main Street that they own. And they said that they were going to try to put it into next year's program. So
Right.
let's hope, yeah.
Yeah, the 2008, we're on the 2018
Yeah.
capital budget line projects. That could be 19, that could be 2020. But we're hoping it'll be next year. We were trying to tie it in with all these roads that we were paving
Right.
in between.
It would have been nice to do it all at the same time.
Would have been a great plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it just didn't work out.
Well, they need it, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we do need it.
Yeah.
We do need it. And I just also want to mention that, you know, textile recovery containers that I've spoke about 2 meetings ago are now at the library and also at the DPW facility. But I do ask residents to please use these containers because these textile products are going to good use.
Good.
Okay? Any questions?
That's it. Thank you.
Just
Oh, I'm
one
sorry.
question. No, thank you. The basketball court at Courts, Main Street, we're going to redo them. Is there a time frame? I know it's not going to be this summer, right?
Well, Eastchester has their basketball tournaments
Right.
now to
Yeah.
August, I think, 2nd or 4th. We're going to try to put it off as long as we can because the summertime is here. Me and David were talking about this today. We do want kids to utilize the park. We don't want to shut it down for a couple of weeks. We're trying to postpone it as long as we can.
Right.
Maybe when school gets back to session, we'll do it at that point.
Sounds like a great plan.
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you, Frank.
Well,
Camille, you have anything to enlighten us with tonight?
No report, thank you.
All right. Gary, anything from you?
for me, Mr. Mayor.
And David, how about?
Yeah, just real quick, this week summer hours began here at Village Hall. So on Fridays we will be closing at 1 o'clock. So if there's any business, please come before that time. Our farmers market is continuing to go on Sundays from 10 to 4, which is really great. And then a plug for the county: their mobile passport is coming to Depot Square on Monday, July 17th from 11 to 2. And if no one's ever used that and they need a passport, it's a fantastic service. That's where I got my passport. It's quick, it's efficient, so a good plug for them.
Good. Excellent. Thank you. All right. Miscellaneous business. Our next village board meeting is scheduled for August 7th. We will have a residents meeting on August 16th. The location is still to be determined. We have a couple locations we're talking about. That's going to bring us to our Board of Trustees member reports, and we're going to start with Trustee Luisi.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to start with a report from the History Committee here in Tuckahoe. Their outreach program continues to grow and flourish here in the surrounding communities. To date, they have presented presentations to the Lions Club, the Rotary Club, the Tuckahoe Seniors, the residents at the fountains, as well as members of the Eastchester High School. Tuckahoe Trolley tour was given to the Eastchester High School teachers, and a mini marble museum tour also was provided for them. Plans are underway for an open house on Saturday, October 21st, which will take place from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. here on the second floor here in Village Hall. There will be tours of the museum and several PowerPoint presentations by Nick Sanzano. Moving on to our Tuckahoe seniors, this Thursday, July 13th, the seniors are looking forward to meeting the mayor of Tuckahoe. And this is going to be a new program, I understand, but this specific visit, Mayor Eklund will be speaking to the seniors about the update on the development here on Marbledale Road, otherwise known as the hotel, and one of the construction engineers will also be there to help with this presentation. On July 25th, the seniors will cruise along the Hudson on the River Rolls paddle boat and then lunch at the River Grill in Newburgh, New York. The seniors will close out the summer season on Thursday, July 27th, with a rather informal lunch where everyone contributes and brings food for everyone to eat. And then the center will be closed for the month of August, and then they will return in September 5th to be exact. And I thank you, Mayor.
All right, thank you. We're going to move on to Trustee Leo.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The library seems to be very busy this month and next month, so bear with me, please. Cool off with our afternoon family movie, and that takes place on Mondays at 3:30. On July 17th, the Lego Batman movie will take place. July 31st, Beauty and the Beast, and August 14th, Boss Baby. Please call the library to register. Children's Summer Crafts, that'll take place on Tuesday, July 11th, August 15th, and August 22nd at 4 p.m., and it's open to children from 5 to 10 years old. Legos in the Library, and that takes place on Friday, July 14th, August 11th, and 18th at 4 p.m., and that is open to children ages 4 to 10 years old. Join Miss Nora for Acting Fun, Let's Pretend, and that's open to children ages 3 to 5 years old, and that will take place on Friday, July 21st at 3 p.m. Puzzles and Board Games in the Library, and that takes place on Fridays, July 28th, August 4th at 4 p.m., and it's open to children from 4 to 10 years old. Science specials with New Canaan Nature Center and Westchester Children's Museum. We'll be discussing several programs. Birds of Prey, and that'll take place on July 18th at 4 p.m. STEM Engineering, and that will take place on August 1st at 4 p.m. And Plantastics, that'll take place on Tuesday, August 8th at 4 p.m. And it's open to children from 5 to 10 years old. Registration is required as space is limited. Join in the kids sing-along with Miss Elaine, and that will take place on August 7th at 11:30, and it's open to children from birth to 6 years old. Join Miss Nora for Acting Fun, Stage Struck, and that's open to children ages 6 to 10 years old, and that will take place on July 24th at 4 p.m. Bedtime Sing-Along with Miss Elaine, and that will take place on August 2nd at 6:30 p.m. Feel free to wear your pajamas and bring a pillow if you like. Please call the library to register. Music, 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 Petite Concert. It's open to children from ages 0 to 5 years old, and that'll take place on August 10th at 11 a.m. Kids Summer Reading Finale, hands-on animal event with the Green Meadow Farm, and that will take place on Thursday, August 17th at 4:30 p.m., and it's open to children of birth to 10 years old with an adult. Registration is required. And then July and August story times, Baby Time, that'll take place on July 13th, 20th, and August 3rd, 17th, and 24th at 11 a.m. Okay. Chess for Teens, that will take place on Wednesdays, July 12th and August 9th from 7 to 8:15 p.m. and ages 11 to 17 years old. Again, registration is required. For adults, there's still more. Tuckahoe Public Library Adult Summer Reading Program. Receive one raffle for each book read. Rate your reads on the raffle ticket. The library will feature your favorite picks as reader's choice. Dozens of prizes will be raffled during the end of summer reading program, and that's on Wednesday, August 16th at 6:30 p.m. And then How to Write a Resume That Stands Out. That will take place on Monday, July 17th at 12 p.m. And at 6 p.m. one-on-one sessions. Build a Better World, Gentle Yoga, and that will take place on July 20th at 5:45 p.m. and registration is required. The library also has a Meet the Author, Linda Cardillo, and that will take place on July 26th at 6:30 p.m. Linda Cardillo is an award-winning author and critically acclaimed novels dancing on Sunday afternoons. Across the table, the Boathouse Cafe and the Uneven Road. And please call the library to register. And then the Tuckahoe Library presents Wine Pairing, and that'll take place on Monday, August 7th at 6:30 p.m. Registration is required. And I think that's it for now.
All right, thank you. We are going to take a break for a minute because our whole camera system seems to be frozen.
Oh.
And I did check with Jackie at home. She's
Have to
our
read it all over again?
eyes on the street, and so we're going to take a break just for a minute, see if they can unlock this.
School graduation. It was a wonderful event, as always, and I wanted to just shout out to our high school graduates, say congratulations again, and to all our students who are moving on in their academic career. And I specifically wanted to give a shout out to some of the members of our community, at least one member of our community from Tuckahoe who has made a decision to serve in the armed forces, and that's Cesar Delanto. And Caesar is right now in Paris Island attending basic training. And, you know, we recognize, and rightfully so, our graduates, our high school graduates, and we certainly reach out to them and we say, you know, where are you going to college? What are you going to be doing? But sometimes we miss congratulating the young men and women who go into the armed service. So Caesar's right here from Tuckahoe, and he's now serving in the United States Marine Corps. I know we have 2 individuals from Eastchester who are going into the United States Marine Corps as well, and I believe a young lady from Bronxville will be going and attending my alma mater, the United States Air Force Academy. So congratulations to all of them. Thank you.
We wish them all the best. Godspeed. Thank you. I'll be brief. Just want to talk a little bit about we are on the issue of zoning changes. The board and I have met with the village's planner, Noah Levine, regarding making some changes to our zoning ordinance. Our plan is to put together a list of zoning issues that need to be looked at and updated and changed. The process, we actually started tonight by scheduling a public hearing, so that's going to be ongoing this fall. I also want to talk about the fireworks. It was a tremendous show. We had about 5,000 people there, we estimated, and it was very safe. Thank you to the police department. It was very clean. Thank you to the Department of Public Works. And thank you to David Pope for actually underwriting the cost of the Grucci fireworks show. It was very, very impressive. And I'm just going to give a brief budget wrap-up. We're finishing up paying bills and making deposits from last year's budget, which ended on May 31st. And it looks like when our books are closed, we're going to have a fund balance of $1,863,000, which equates to 15% of the village's annual budget. We were able to do this and also maintain a very small tax decrease for our residents in this year's budget. For new residents, this may not seem like much, but having come from a dark place some years ago when we had almost a zero fund balance, to bring our finances up to this level is a very great accomplishment. So I want to give special thanks to our village administrator, David Burke, and all of his department heads. And with that, we are going to turn it over to the second opportunity to address the board on anything at all. And I see a man here with his hand up. You just give us your name and address, please.
Albert Stern, 14 Westview. I happened to look over the budget last few weeks, and there were a couple things I had questions about. One of which I saw another fuel charge in it. It was $8,000. Maybe you could tell me a little bit about that, please. It's in the building department.
I'll look into it and get back to you.
You don't know what it's been?
No, I said I will look into it and get back to you.
Well,
Thank you very much.
No, excuse me. It's been
Yeah.
there for 5 years.
Good.
And when you first became mayor, it was up from 5,000 to 8,000. So I thought you might have had something to do with it.
I'll send you a written response on it.
You don't know where that $5,000 fuel charge goes.
That's not what he said.
Who is responsible for the $5,000 fuel charge?
Do you have anything else you'd like to talk to us about
Yes,
tonight?
I do, but
Please
I'd like
do.
you to answer my question.
I answered your question. You don't like the answer,
I
and
think
that's
you know
fine.
the answer, and you won't answer my question.
It's very self-explanatory. It's in the budget.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It
Can I
just
help you
says
with something else?
$5,000 fuel charge, and you refuse to tell me who it's going for. Who is getting paid $8,000?
It's a fuel line in the building department's budget to cover, obviously, fuel expenses in the building department.
So in other words, it's very different from a building department employees driving around. They are not getting reimbursed, is that correct?
You asked a question, and I told you you'll get a written response on your question.
When will you
after
do,
we review
when will
that.
you do that?
You'll get it within 30 days.
Fine. Second question I have is, in the budget you have two line items. One is contingencies and the other is engineering fees. I want to know what the contingencies relate to.
A contingency line item in our budget or any municipality's budget is exactly for that purpose of a contingency that we are not aware of at the time we're adopting the budget. And it would be for an emergency purpose.
Well, it's very interesting because you have a very specific number for your contingency. In 2016, on your budget, it was $178,292. That's not a contingency. That seems to like a specific number for a specific project. You don't come down with $2 as a contingency. So maybe you could tell me what that is exactly. That was from the 2016 budget, so you should know that by now.
I'll answer your question again the same way. A contingency line item in a budget is set aside money for a contingency that we are not aware of at the time we're adopting the budget.
So are you familiar with that number, Mayor?
It's in our budget. I'm definitely familiar with
You are
it. I voted
familiar
on the
with that
budget,
number.
and you're well aware of that.
Well, let me tell you this. Let me ask you this. In 2016, you had it listed 292,700, 400, I'm sorry, $178,292, and then it disappeared. In the following year, there was no amount. It was not listed. So it went off the budget from 178,000 to zero. So you budgeted, and nothing came through.
If the
The
money
following year, excuse me,
Okay,
the
sorry.
following year you listed it for 155,000. That's for 17. Now for next year, 2018, you have another specific number, $92,427. Is that the contingency too?
is it the line item in the is it the amount on the contingency line item in the budget? Is it? I don't have the budget in
It's
front of me.
under contingency.
Okay, then you answered
You
your
have
own
a very
question. Thank you.
specific number.
Mhm.
And you don't know what that is?
No, you asked a question, is that the number in the
let me
contingency
ask you
line
this.
item?
Mr. Stern, if I may, do you think that we should know the budget by heart? Is that what you're saying?
You should know a contingency item that adds to $400,000. Of course you should.
What do you mean to $400,000? You just said
You had-
$92,000.
Listen to me, please. In 2016, you had $178,292.
Okay, that's 2016.
In 2017, it was $155,000, and for this year, it's $92,427. These are very specific numbers. Yes, I think you should know it. And if you add them all together, it's $425,000.
Why would you add them all together?
Yeah, they expire at the end of the budget year.
Okay, so you're saying when you have a specific number and it expires.
Should it be an
there was no-
arbitrary number as opposed to a
Well, I
specific
like
number?
number-
I don't understand what you're saying. Should we
I
put
like
down a
it.
question mark next to it?
I like the number 155,000 because it shows it's a contingency. When you have a specific number, it tells me you're paying something like legal fees.
I have a question, Mr. Stern.
It could just be a
Why weren't these questions asked at the public hearings for the budget, or why didn't you not attend the work sessions?
Sir, I did ask some questions.
I don't recall you being at any of our work sessions, and I don't recall these questions being asked at any of the public hearings. The
I'd like to know where my money is going, all right?
if you're as well, you should. But the budget's already been passed.
And the mayor cannot tell me why they never had a contingency until.
If you would have asked that question when we each had the budget in front of us with the appropriate personnel, you would have got the answer.
You don't know the answer now, is that correct?
If I had the budget in front of me, yes, I could.
Will you have the answer next month?
And I believe the mayor already answered that question, that he will answer your questions in an email.
Next month to ask you about this.
But could you please answer me why you did not attend any of the work sessions when this budget was a work in progress and ask these questions? But the budget's already been passed.
I am simply asking where the taxpayer money is.
Why did you not ask these questions when the budget was a work in progress?
Because I wasn't here.
And just for the record, there's a contingency line item in every year's budget, in every municipality.
There was no contingency line. Before 2016, there was never a contingency line. It started when the legal
That's not
works.
true. That's not true.
It started when the
No,
hotel.
I'm not gonna let
I'm
you
sorry. It
continue to come to
started when
these
the
meetings and
hotel.
say
When
falsehoods.
the
That's
hotel
not true.
began, that's when the.
Oh, no.
It's got nothing to do with the hotel.
Well, I went back and looked to 2010,
Well, you better take another look.
and there was no contingency. I did look.
Good.
There was no contingency item. It came up when the hotel came up.
Can I help you with
I'm
anything
looking
else?
forward
tonight,
to your.
Mr. Smith?
I'm looking forward to your answer.
On the building department,
And then the
$8,000.
second- I have
You'll get
another
that.
question too. On the engineering, there is an engineering fee that is over $50,000. Could you tell me what that is? It never was. There was never an engineering fee.
Are you talking about a line item in the budget for
Line
engineering?
item of engineering fee.
There has always been an engineering, there's a professional services line item in this and every prior budget.
I will show you, but there is no engineering. Yes, I'm sorry. In 2013, there was nothing. I'm sorry, it was 3,000. In 14, it was 2,000. In 16, there was nothing in 15. In 16, it was 2,000, and it was 2,000. And then it went up to $50-some thousand, and I wondered what that was. Over $50,000. Can you tell me what it is?
We'll have to actually get a detailed of all the bills that are paid under that line, and we can give you an answer to that question.
Explain that in your letter to me next time. All right?
You'll get an explanation on your $8,000 question on the personnel line item in the building department.
Because I'm a taxpayer and I'd like to know
As
where
well
my
as I
money is
am too,
going.
sir. Thank you.
There are plenty of people here who would like to know where their money is going.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else who would like to address the board? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Jessica Shuffaletti, 338 Columbus Avenue, Tuckahoe. I was just wondering if you can provide us with any information about the testing that DEC did outside of the brownfield, and is that testing continuing, and what's going on with that?
Yes, the testing that they did in April that you're aware of, and I guess you're asking about that particular testing. There's a lot of testing there. The results actually were, we were waiting for them to validate the results. I mentioned that at last month's meeting. Well, we just got over 1,000 pages of that data on Thursday. So it was, of course, forwarded to the county because they're the lead agency for this aspect of it. Their air monitoring division in Westchester County Department of Health. But we have also asked our company that we retain, HDR, to go through it, not spend a tremendous amount of money because we're, you know, as Mr. Stern has mentioned, we're hemorrhaging money on some of these different issues. But we've asked them to take a look at it and give us sort of a summary as to what that data is revealing. At first blush, we saw that the TCE, which is probably what you're concerned about, there was, from what I heard, it was like 2.3 was the highest level, so it was dramatically lower than any of the numbers that we had been talking about before. But I guess to give you an answer, I can't give you a specific answer. That information is now available. I don't know if it's on our website or, yeah. Yeah, it's, but it's certainly available. The county has that data also at this point.
Is it going to be posted on the website, or is it going to be pared down and posted in any way? So
It's so much you could never understand, and I know that you've tracked this, you know, you've tracked information like this. It's,
but is it something that maybe HDR can?
well, that's what we've asked them. Yeah, we've asked them to try and put it in, you know, some structure that we could all, you know, I would like to be able to say to you, you know what, here it is, it's a graph. These are the readings of the different stations that they tested. So we're trying to get that. We're trying to accomplish that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else from the public? Yes, sir.
Hi, 8 South High Street. I just had a question about some of the findings in the ecosystems report, the ambient air testing, air levels. I'm sure you're aware of around Hall Ave, Marbledale Road of 12 micrograms per cubic liter, 14 micrograms per cubic liter. And they're elevated levels, and I wondered what you have done to determine the source of the elevated levels of TC.
We have, I don't know if you caught any of our meetings over the last 4 months or so.
I've seen videos.
Okay, so you're aware then the fact that we turn the issue over to the county. It's the proper authority is the county health department, air monitoring division, as well as the state DEC is working with them to track down the source of one of those businesses on Marbledale Road.
So they are actively working to
They are,
determine the
absolutely.
source. Are you concerned about those levels? Do you think that they're
No,
exceedingly
because
high?
we just, as I just mentioned, the retesting by the DEC, which actually came after Paul Simonello's one test, showed nothing higher than like 2, a level of 2. And the county or the state has told us they're not even concerned until it's 19. So I'm not concerned at levels that are at 2. Absolutely not.
But that doesn't mean that if there is a source that has gone away.
Oh, no, we believe there's a spray booth. You know, we've been told that it's really coming from one of the industrial businesses that's down there that's painting something. So we're just waiting for them to track that down.
Okay.
Apparently, it's gotten a little better because we were getting a lot of complaints, and we noticed ourselves just the smell when we were down in that area. The complaints have really, I would say, stopped, and so I don't know. Maybe something has already been. They changed the filter. I just can't say right now, but I know that it's in the hands of the county and the state.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thanks for coming down. Anybody else from the public? All right, if not, we're going to wrap it up. Sorry for the technical problems that we had. Hopefully Wade will get it all cleared up. If there's no other business tonight, I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn this meeting at 5 minutes to 9.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Until next time, Tuckahoe, have a great evening.